bad news for our hometown hero, Tom Brady. The ruling on the field stands. A federal appellate court upheld his 4-game suspension today. They wrote, quote, "We hold that the commissioner properly exercised his broad discretion under the collective bargaining agreement and that his procedural rulings did not deprive Brady of fundamental fairness." The final vote was 2-1, but the battle may not be over quite yet. Joining me is Alfred Yen. He's an associate dean of faculty and professor at BC Law School, where he teaches a class on sports law. Very good to see you. I know the fans are out of their minds because they hate the commissioner and they love Tom Brady. This decision was not at all about whether he deflated footballs. It was about whether or not the commissioner had the power to do what he did, was it not?
Correct, yes. This decision was not about the underlying merits of the case. It was about the interpretation of the collective bargaining agreement and the authority that the commissioner has under it.
And the players' union is one of the weakest unions in America, essentially granted this power where the commissioner is able to be jury and judge and trier of essentially everything and the ultimate arbiter, right?
Yes, but I think one has to be careful about calling the NFL Players Union weak on this. So let me elaborate a bit.
Sure.
The collective bargaining agreement permits the commissioner to sit as the final arbiter in a dispute involving player discipline. Now, no doubt, when that was presented to the Players Union, they said to the owners, "We don't like this. We don't want that in here." My guess is they accepted that provision because the owners explained to them they wanted the commissioner to have final authority over disciplinary matters. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if the ownership conceded on some other issues, such as salary, in order to get that provision in the collective bargaining agreement.
But this is a pretty big deal. Well, so the big issue of the day, needless to say, is are there other venues for Tom Brady to continue his case? Realistically, are there? We've read about maybe it was only 3 judges of the Second Circuit. He could appeal to go before a request to go before a 12, maybe the Supreme Court. Are either of those real options for him?
Well, it's certainly a real option to make the petition, so he can put the issue in front of both the entire Second Circuit or to the Supreme Court. Whether either court will agree to hear another appeal on his behalf, I think, is far more debatable. Yeah, I mean, you can never say never given the publicity involving this case, but I don't find it such an unusual case that they would be likely to take it.
The one exception I read today is that if Adrian Peterson, who obviously got in trouble, and he's been since reinstated for beating his young kid essentially, he still has a case pending before a federal appellate court. If it turned out they ruled in Peterson's favor against the league, and there were essentially 2 conflicting appellate court decisions, that would increase the likelihood that Brady's case might get heard higher up, yes?
It would increase the chances, but there are plenty more conflicts that are of that level that the Supreme Court has chosen to leave unresolved. So I wouldn't say that would be a slam dunk.
And even if he got it, the likelihood of getting a stay, which would allow him to play, is minimal to non-existent, right?
Oh, it would be maybe a little bit unlikely. And again, if you're the United States Supreme Court, how much time do you want to spend on a case involving deflated footballs in the NFL and its players union?
You're going to get run out of town for that kind of thing. Okay, play Nostradamus in our final 30 seconds here. Is Tom Brady going to play the first 4 games for his team come September?
Oh man, I'm not much of a predictor, but I think that there's an excellent chance, or let me say a possibility, that the commissioner, having made his point that I'm in charge of the NFL, will cut a deal with him in exchange for his waiving any rights of appeal.
From your lips, Fred Yen, it's a pleasure to see you. So nice to see you. Thank you.